Good afternoon, traders. Hope everybody's doing well. Mr. Realistic coming at you with another episode of Bearish or Bullish. Keep in mind before we start these videos that I am not a financial advisor. I do this purely for entertainment purposes. Please do all your DD as well. You want to make sure you're doing that due diligence before you decide to do anything. Okay, there's always risks in the stock market. All right, everybody, what a day, or what an end of the day, I should say. Pretty freaking boring day overall. Um, this volume right now, it just seems so low compared to what we were seeing a couple weeks ago or even a week ago. Um, it seems like people are either holding these stocks that were just running and just waiting to see what they kind of do, like PUGE here. Um, I don't know. We're gonna have to watch that because I'm noticing a lot of bid whacking where people are selling into the bid, bringing the price down in a lot of different stocks. Low volume. I was hoping it was just a Friday thing. Usually Monday's a little slow as well too. Market opened up a little sloshy. I didn't actually see where it went. A little busy day on my end. Yeah, so just got back from a walk, and I'm thinking I read somebody said, hey, there's going to be an 8K on Thursday for PUGE. So I'm like, all right, I'll go pick up a lot of shares, not a lot, a decent amount of shares, and then find out it's freaking today. That was a nice surprise. Good time to buy as they were pushing that sucker down. Usually that's when you know that something's coming. Um, all right, so before we get into the 8K of PUGE, because it is extremely long, so I'm just going to do a, uh, a little little skim. Oh gosh, what is it? Used to freaking notes. I can't think of it. Gosh, my brain's too tired today. It's a Monday, everybody. Cliff Notes. There we go. Hey, when you don't think about it, it comes right to you. All right, so I'll do a little Cliff Notes version of the 8K going over some of the main points. It literally has a chapter guide to it. So I'm going to leave it all to Tigress over here because she's my DD queen in the Tiger Discord. I know they're going to break it down perfectly and make sense for me as well, because that is not my forte per se. Um, we're good at some things and we're not good at other things. I'm not saying I'm bad at it, but it's not my strong suit at the moment. All right, so PUGE, PUG. All right, so they, as I said, we're going to break out of the trend. Friday didn't do it because of the volume issue we were having, and then busted up out of the trend, making this nice bullish move right here. Um, so yeah, I mean, look at everything's flying, everything's good. RSI is at 76. I'm assuming open tomorrow should be pretty nice for a lot of us, our PUGE holders with that 8K. We'll see how it goes. We have been in the RSI since September 20th, so pushing on a month here. So I would not be shocked if we get a pullback, maybe on news tomorrow or something. I don't know. It's just running so hot. Maybe it goes up a little bit more, runs a little bit, and then comes down some. I just a month into overbought territory is dangerous. So just keep that in mind. It's a temporary pullback because if you after you check out this 8K and you know everything, this is definitely. I was gonna swing this stock, so figuring it was going probably at least 5 plus, and then sell, and then maybe get into it later once it calms down. But now this looks like it might be a long-term hold. Just sell like a small portion of it once it gets up and ride the rest for free, because this looking pretty right now, especially with all this news coming out. It's pretty sweet. Um, so let's look at the hourly right here as we're rocking through the hourly, it's doing nice, it's bouncing up and in, and then we broke out on Friday, and then we broke out of the top trend of the pennant, and we found some resistance up here at the 149 level. We also found we found resistance right here at 156. So it shot back down and everything. Um, this is definitely what we want to watch on. This is definitely a positive move, but we need to and want to hold above the 1.5 level to create an confirmed uptrend. Okay, so you're getting a lot of resistance here. Um, that's why there's some selling at the end. Like I said, I'm adding new indicators. One of them is the MACD. I'm trying to get into that, and I was looking at it. As I told you all on my tweets, I was seeing that the 15. Okay, so they were trying to bring this down. The 8/21. As you can see, they brought it all the way down to touch the 50-day moving average on the 15-minute. There was a strong, solid support. Thank you, whoever that was out there. The 54 million or 5.4 million shares right there to hold us strong. If not, that probably would have dropped us down to the 200 moving average because they're savages out there. So just keep in mind about that. So if we look over here at the MACD, crossed over down on the 15 way back in the morning time, and that's when you got some of this resistance selling right here and why it dipped as well. And then if we look at the 30-minute, that was what led us into that last sell off as well. The 30-minute crossed over, as we can see just right here. This is a separation negatively with those lines. Keep in mind with charts, charts are charts until there is news or there's a catalyst of some sort that will change the chart. Okay, so if I was going basically just off this chart right here, I would say that this would look to be our turn to turn back and to retrace a bit, just to get the RSI on the daily down some. As you can see, the curl right here on the MACD, as we're looking at it, and it follows this bearish trend down here. PUGE is going to be fantastic. This would have been just a cool off phase, so don't stress about it. So that's what I was thinking it was going to come in here. Here's the hourly right here as well. But with this AK news, it could be a sell the news thing, not a big deal. Going to be, I think it's going to be good. Let's see how it goes. I just don't know how it's going to react. But look at the daily. The daily MACD is bullish as all get out. It's pushing up here, so it would. I think it would be just a slight pullback. Nothing like drastic or anything like that. Like we hit down to like maybe like 1.8 or something, or no, I need to go back to the hourly. Sorry. Um, maybe we come down and touch 119 again or something like that, or we could have something drastic down here at like 102. If I told you all you could buy PUGE with that AK at a cent, people would be laughing at me right now because that thing would be gobbled up in a heartbeat. So I don't see that happening anymore. That is why I think they dropped the AK tonight. Actually, now that I'm putting two to two together, I mean, I've always said there's a correlation between the chart and when news or anything drops. That is a perfect indication of that. All right, ILUS was dropping hard. All right, they sent out a tweet, spiked it back up. Okay, they reversed the chart. Same thing with CYBL. Okay, all PUGE did it beforehand. All these stocks do it. Okay, so keep an eye out for that. So that's why I bet you it did. I bet you they saw this because this was a nice little consolidation. But as you can see, it's just running hot for so long. I don't know how much longer we can go. Hopefully, we can go. You know, next week or so, and then maybe we can just get it a little higher. Because I mean, we're only at 76 right now. Maybe we can run it really hot here the next couple days up to 91 again, 90, and then wherever that takes us all the way up here, hopefully, and then maybe we can come back down to this level right here where we're currently at. So where we're sitting right now will be the bottom. That would be best case news for a cool down pullback for all current investors, and it would be a very good thing for people looking to invest and don't want to, go for the 2 cent. So that's my 2 cents about that. So a lot going on with PUGE. This is why I have it first today. So let me bring this over to you so that you all can see. All right, so we have right here OTC markets. If you go to the quote, type in PUGE. Okay, if you watched my share structure video, that will help you understand all this right here. If you click on disclosures right here, and if you scroll down, you can see date received 10/18, which is today, is the 8K. All right, it has all these things that you can download it with, or you just click this. All right, so this thing is massive. And before I start reading it, I'm just going to scroll through it so you can see what I mean. Like, so much information. I mean, look at all of this information right here. I mean, oh, here's your table of contents. All right, 55 pages of all this. This is definitely going to be disseminated and dissected and, oh my gosh, everything by the Tiger Discord. So if you're not on there, go ahead and join that or follow Tigress. She is going to have it just broken down so beautifully. That's why I follow her. So maybe I'll have her on the show one day so we can get her on here and explain this in layman's term to all of us. But this is what we'll scroll down with and go over. Okay, so they've got a forward-looking statement, which is basically saying all these words and terminology such as may, will, should, expects. All right, those are forward-looking. Um, okay, so this is what really matters. All right, so we got section 1, registrant's business and operations. Item 1.01, entry into a material definitive agreement with an investment banking agreement. On the 12th of October, the registrant entered into an investment banking agreement with Cambridge Wilkinson LLC and Avalon Securities Ltd. All right, ASL and its affiliate AGLT Group. For convenience, will be CWASL and Group. Okay, so that's what they'll put through here and here so they don't have to type it out all the time. The investment bank will assist the registrant as in its placement agent and investment banker subject to the terms and conditions set forth in the agreement. For purposes of this agreement, any funding source introduced by the investment banker to the company, all right, registrant or registrant's transaction is referred to as a partner and term transaction. It's just how they're labeling things, okay, for them to so understand it. Legal schmeagle will include any sale by the registrant of equity, securities, or interest, debt securities, hybrid securities, or entering into of any fund capital, credit, cash advance, factor, loan, joint venture, buyout, partnerships, leases, property or equipment, or other debt agreements in one transaction or a series of transactions funded by a partner's overtime. The initial transaction contemplated under the agreement will involve a limited offering of $20 million in shares of the registrant's Class B convertible preferred stock at a placement price of $5 per share in units of 5,000 shares in reliance on Rule 506B of the United States Security Exchange, blah, 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 blah. All right. So Class B's convertible shares, I believe these can only be exercised a certain way, and it's over a long period of time. I'm going to take a sip real fast. Lots of reading, dry throat. So super exciting. So basically what I'm getting out of this, they have a mutual agreement with these banks and securities so that they are going to be able to give them Class B convertible preferred stocks, okay, at $20 million in shares, which is 5 per share, equate to 50, geez, 5,000 shares, okay? So they're using that as their, I believe, their capital so that those banks can fund them the capital, the credit, cash advances, factors, loans, joint ventures, buyouts, partnerships, lease, property, equipment, any debt things. So the bank will fund those for them. Okay, so as we get down in here, it kind of goes over the transactions and everything of that nature. But basically for this one, hold Oh, 1 second. All right. So like all the fees and stuff, I believe they have to pay cash, but they can also choose um, to take their closing for like take their securities and turn them into more shares somewhere in here. I'm pretty sure I read that as well. So this is a good thing. So the bank wants to get shares from the company as collateral for doing lending them money. Okay. So, and then they pay cash for any transaction fees and things of that nature. All right, so super exciting. That gives them the capital and things to get out there and make those acquisitions. Speaking of acquisitions, I think that is down. It's two, it's after this one, so I'll get into that in a second. So then we have all right, so that was one. So this is section 3.02. This is just saying that they're going to use their social media to tell information to us about their company and proposed activities. That's all that is. Section 8 over here, 8.01, other events. Okay, this is what we were getting into. They have entered into letters of intent to acquire 2 additional companies in the healthcare industry, but prices and terms have yet to be negotiated. All right, so I read over these. So this one, they have to get, both of them have to get audited financials before it can go. They are going to do their due diligence, PUG is, before they purchase these companies. The 2 companies have granted uh, the PUGE an exclusive right to negotiate specific acquisition terms after it conducts required due diligence and the parties determine the most appropriate valuation and form of acquisition. Okay, this is expected, all right, intends to conclude these negotiations on or before November 30th. And then if you ever bought or sold a home before, you have a closing date. So it will, with closing by the end of this year. So super exciting. 2 different ones. The first one they're saying in their unaudited financials in 2019 we're looking at 700,000 annually and 500,000. Nothing huge or anything, but it's a step in the right direction on bringing income into the company and businesses that are worth money. So remember, while they're doing that audit, hopefully they can get some sweet deals on it. So that'd be pretty sweet. All right, so feel free to read through all of that as well. Um, going through Health Corp control. All right, so this is talking about the common stock and who has the most capital, the most stock, and who's got what percentages and all that good stuff as well. Okay, and then as we go on, each unit is offered at 25,000. It's comprised of 5,000 shares of Class B convertible preferred stocks. This is talking about the investment up top with the um, investment banking agreement right up here as well. So this is going into detail about that. All right. So minimum placement is 3 million. Total placement is up to 20 million. Okay. Commission and expenses and agreed proceeds. Okay. Come to them. So we run through. All right. I could spend, I mean, I'm at 20 minutes almost, and this is just PUGE. So I'm going to click out of this right here. But yeah, pretty exciting stuff. This is just one of many things coming from them. So that's pretty exciting. And I mean, I'm looking forward to watching this thing grow, watching its highs, watching its lows, and watching it make new higher highs and higher lows. It's gonna be sweet. PUGE. All right, let's move on. All right, so NBRI. Oh man, was this disappointing? I had the strongest hope that the trend would continue and follow up as it's done 3 times. And then it broke the trend line, which broke support, which dropped our price down right here. I mean, it's easy as that. All right. As soon as it dropped below the support line, I mean, it just plummeted down. Um, Luckily, we found a massive support at 0.0025, okay, and going off there. But now we're into a longer downtrend on the hourly 8 MA and 21 MA. So this is a lot different situation than we were set up for. We were set up for a breakout right here and above the trend line. So these are one of the things where you have to trade with no emotion, and you have to make your decision on what you want to do with this. Do you think it's going to hold here, or do you think it's going to break this trend line and eventually continue to fall? Do you think it's going to continue to go up? Do you think it's going to have a false break and then a downtrend? So there's a lot of things we've got to look here, and kind of evaluate, and it's going to really determine upon risk versus reward. Okay, so limiting that risk. So I'm definitely going to have to uh, start scaling some of this out because the risk is coming too large with the separation right here. Okay, that's what we have to make right here. We also have the MACD trending down, but it's also curling back in. So what I'm thinking is we get another bump here into possibly the three, maybe a little over three. But let's see how the trend plays out on this. I'm hoping this can go back up and push up and above. Um, we just have to see. So positive turn, that's why we got this right here, and we broke that 2.7 all as we saw the MAC was turning, and that's led into that. Now we have to see if we're going to get this or if we're going to get this. The biggest thing with stocks is supply and demand. I cannot say this enough. Supply and demand. Volume precedes price. Whatever people want, they'll pay whatever they want for it. Okay? It doesn't matter if it makes sense. People want it, they'll pay whatever it is in their mind worth. Okay? So, right now, we need these spikes right here for this chart. Okay? We need it consistently. All right? Look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If this does not break this upper trend line right here and it breaks this line, this thing is going to go lower. Okay? I'm letting you know right now, this thing has to break here, which means it has to get volume to do that by here. If this breaks this trend line, it is going to fall and it is going to continue. It's going to end up busting the 2.5 support and it's going to fall down to the next support down here at 2. Okay, 0.02. All right, and then it'll probably hold, maybe bounce again off of that. Then we would need it to see go up. If not, it's going to continue to bleed down. All right, limit your risk, make a smart decision. It's completely up to this is why you want to know your charts, okay? So look at it here, okay? So it's starting to curl up on the 30, which is good. Let's look at the 15. 15 made a positive move. We want to make sure that this is shooting up. If not, and this takes a nosedive right here, that's going to show us that we're getting a lot of selling. That was the other thing I wanted to make a point of this. And I was talking to one of my followers today that I said this earlier in the show. There's a lot of bid whacking going on. People are selling into the bid. Okay, so instead of putting the at the ask, all right. So we had this huge wall at 12 ask, 27. Sorry, ask, and we had the separation at 25. Okay, so sometimes they would just hit it. Well, they only did a little bit on the 25, but 25 really got hit because it had such large support. But if somebody put up 26 over there, they hit it, they whacked it down so it went away, and then whatever they had left over stayed up. They didn't even try to put it into that 27. They just said, I want out. So this right here, keep an eye. We want this on the 30 to continue to go up across positive. We're going to always find resistance. Remember, they always want to try and push it down. Be careful on these. This is a different stock now because it is not in that trend line that right here that I was talking about, and this is what we were looking for. So it broke that, fell below it. So this is gonna be a bearish move. I mean, I hate to say it, but we're looking for a pop up in the 30s. All right, that's what I'll be looking for a slight exit for some of my stuff. I just, without the volume, it's not going to do it. We need volume. And to do that, we need a catalyst. So I don't know when the catalyst will come and everything. So uh, minimize risk while you can. All right. So that is that. If you're looking for a bottom play, another option would be the CFGX. As I said, this one's just kind of rolling up. This isn't a bullish flag. It's going up. All right. This is a different pattern than here. Okay. So if it breaks this trend line, and let's see if I can get something off of here. All right. So, all right. What this could happen is if it breaks this support right here, okay, let's say it goes up to 293, but then it meets resistance and people sell, and it comes down and breaks this line. What's probably going to happen is it's going to fall down, all right, and you'd hope that it bounced off this downward trend and just kind of stayed in this channel, but it's going to go down. Then you're going to hope for it to break the upper trend line to start a new one, but that's a lot longer play as well. So this is not the breakout play that it was because it broke the bottom trend line. It's very important to understand that. This is a completely different play since it broke that bottom trend line. That's why you're seeing a lot of selling here, because it hit their people stop losses. They said if it didn't work out here, I'm out. I'm securing it, and that's what people are doing. Okay, so keep that in mind with your stocks. CFGX is in a bullish flag pattern. It's just channeling up and down. Try to catch these lower wicks if you're trying to get into it. These low double 001s, 002s are very tricky. Okay, very tricky. These are basically you're just accumulating and going until it says that it's not going anymore. Okay. Sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you get the next, PUGE, or you get, KYNC when it did that as well. You get all these ones, ETEK, all right, they continue on. VNTH, all right, that's what we're hoping for. But if it doesn't and it starts to pull, you know, take profit, cut losses, don't get stuck in something like that. This is all my opinion, of course. Um, so as we're watching through here, notice it's following this 8 MA on the or the daily, excuse me. It has broken through, but as you can see during that day, it shoots back up to around that. So slightly below the 8 MA would be a solid move to continue to um, accumulate this stock. There's no reason to slap the ask on these type of stocks because they, as you can see, look at the movement in here. 32, and then all the way down to 22. Next day, 30, 24. All right, just wait for your entry points. 22 again, great entry. All right. A lot of people just getting in and out, taking profits. All right. So there's nothing more than just following this stock. All right. And grabbing the dips on this as it continues to follow in this uptrend. If it breaks this downtrend right here, that's a bearish move. But right now it's right in the center. It's doing great moves. This is a great stock based on its chart, in my opinion, to start accumulating while we have it up and above on the MACD. Top side's good, bottom side, that's your accumulation zone right there, and then it comes up. All right, so keep an eye on that as well. See, this is on the high side, which is good on the hourly, and now the daily it's skyrocketing up. All right, so really good overall. Let's keep an eye and watch what that does. All right, so I'm getting a lot of people ask me about this SSOF. I'm going to have to bring up this OTC markets SSOF so we can look at the share structure as we go through. Attorney letter, just make sure that it didn't drop anything today. Okay, so if we go to security details right here, there are billion authorized shares. Okay, so this is considered, that's considered for you all that didn't watch share structure, the shares that could be into the float or the outstanding shares, what we trade. Restricted is for the company side of things. Okay, so 110 million towards the company, and then our unrestricted is let's just say 590 million. Okay, hasn't been updated since this, so I don't know how accurate that is. And then the float was updated before. That makes a lot of sense. So I'd still take this as the float. Um, I mean, who knows what the float is until we get an update on the share structure as well. But it's super low float. So this thing will move on a dime, either up or down. Keep that in mind. All right. If you're in PJET, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right. This is another one. PJET has more shares and it moves crazy hard, crazy fast swings, up and down, large swings. These are what these low floaters do. Low volume, okay? People are accumulating these things. They are not buying these things on their super green days here, okay? Let's look at PJET on these super green days so we can get a kind of look. So PJET back when it broke out up top, came all the way back down. So went all the way up to 8.2, came all the way the next day down to 4.9. Okay, next day shot all the way up to 147. And then you could have got it at 8.3 the following day. I mean, look at the swings on these things. Do not pay top of these stocks, all right, when you can get bottom. All right, look at 279 3 days ago. Friday, you could have got a 237. And up here, somebody paid threes for it, got rejected, and came all the way and could have got for 2.6. That's how much it swings. You just gotta. These are just accumulations, and just make sure it's following that trend, bullish trend. PJET's good, by the way. It's gonna keep going. You might get a pullback right here as the hourly's coming down and over. Two birds with one stone on that one. Move you over. All right, so this could you just got to be patient with these things because these things are very news dependent, news heavy, and once they get it, it skyrockets. All right, the time in between is just accumulation, slow time. You can't stare at it; you'll be bored to death. Um, RSI is good as well. I mean, I wouldn't buy tomorrow. I bet you dips, and you just buy it down here for a buck, 40, 50. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I mean, if you want, those are just the low floaters. I mean, it's moving in the right direction. Okay, bounced off the 200 here on the daily. All right, it's moving in the right direction. Just make sure it follows the trend. If you catch it at the low ones, then that's a solid buy in my opinion as it goes up. You might get this, you might get a little bit more here, and then before it comes back down, then it's 150. So keep a close eye on it. It's these low floaters, they move, man. Be prepared and be patient because if you're not patient, they won't work out and you'll lose money. All right, KYNC. Man, this stock is the most frustrating stock ever. It's holding the trend line barely, going through. I bet you this thing inkles out until the last freaking second, the end of and sometime next week and breaks up. If it breaks down, I'd be shocked with what they've got. It's ridiculous what's going on there. Can't believe it. As it goes through, I mean, I don't know what else to say. If you're in it, if it breaks this trend line, I would get out of it. If it goes above it, woohoo, money. So yeah, that's KYNC. All right, VNTH. Today was pretty boring. All right, we got a little bit of a pullback, which is fine. Look at the RSI 72 now instead of up in the 80 range. All right, making good waves here. Lots of bid whacking. It looked like M&Ms. Yeah, we'll just start calling them M&Ms. All right, so the MMs, those are the market makers who have all these shares that they can control with. We're definitely making sure this thing did not go over a buck. A buck, Jesus. Sorry, excuse my language. A cent. So it went down and came down. So we got right in the 90s here. I did look. Where did I see this? All right, it was on the hourly. I think it was coming out. All right, yeah. So this is what I wanted to show you all. If you look right here, they didn't want it to happen. If this happened, this could have been a bullish move. Instead, it broke down south. I think that was a smarter move for the stock long term, truthfully. I think they did the right thing. We'll see how it acts tomorrow. Let's see. I think it's going to continue to drop some. I think this stock needs a little bit of cool down action as well. I mean, look at, we're running hot since the 28th of September, 27, 28, and we're on the 18th here. So, you know, a little cool down action would be pretty good for this stock. And I know a lot of you would be happy to pick up some shares as well at a good entry. So you get new investors in there to send that price back up. So I find that to be a good thing. If the stock could drop a little bit more, maybe down to the 8s and just kind of go sideways for a little bit before it takes off. I think that would help the stock out a lot. Very good stock, long run in my opinion. ETEK, just as I anticipated. I thought it would be more of a pullback. It went down to this, looks like it went 6.7. No, low was 6.6, high was 8. I knew 8 was going to be resistance. There's no way they were going to break 8 on that. I don't know if anybody caught that tweet that I sent out earlier, but there's obviously a trader that said that his they propped up the stock during this time frame to hold it from going bearish. That's, you know, this right here, because this, remember we were looking at this and we were saying is like this should go down. Okay, it's a pretty strong stock, but it should go down right here and retrace some, which is fine. And like I told you, it's gonna be fine. I mean, even if it comes here, it's gonna bounce because you're gonna see the value in it. But they said that they propped it up, that they held it up because they're strong traders. I don't know. That makes me kind of worrisome. Like that's nice, like as a stock investor and everything of that nature. But you know, devil's advocate says here is when this stock goes up, when that group, you know, they're accumulating on these ends right here and buying millions of shares to hold it open. When they decide to sell, that's called a dump right there. So that kind of worries me a little bit. So just keep in mind in this. This will be fine. Like it's going to go up, it's going to go. But the question is, whenever they decide, or traders like that decide, that's when the stock just, because they'll obviously they talk to each other about propping it up. So they're going to talk to each other about taking profits because they want an equal amount of gains. I mean, not be like, hey, dude, I'm going to sell at 8 cents. And then he's like, he sells at 6 cents and it tanks. That's not going to happen. Like, they've got to be in sync together. So that's kind of sketchy to me, you know, and that happens a lot in the OTC. You get these trading groups, and, you know, that's what happened to KYNC when it went to 2. And that thing plummeted all the way to half cent. Because of all that craziness. But it was a group that did it, and that's the kind of stuff that kind of I don't like that. I don't, even if it's a good stock. So just be wary. All right, it's curling on the 1 hour. 30 is coming down, touching. Let's see if they prop this one up. Who the heck knows? 15-minute. It looks like they're doing it. So yeah, I think they're just gonna keep doing that all the way up. That is. I don't know. I think it's unethical in my opinion, but whatever. That's just an opinion. To each his own. So, yep. There's ETEK. All right, this baby. Woo! Yeah. UATG. All right. True Stock introduced me to this very nice stock. This thing, like I was saying, 2.4 was accumulation zone. Grab it when you could. And then boom, man, this thing shot all the way up to 325. Wowzas. And like, I mean, look how bullish this is. And as it continues up, I think it's going to come back just a little bit, maybe high 2s before we go. This is a low floater kind of profile, man. This thing flies on news. It did have some good news on patent. So maybe we get some consolidation instead of pullback and just consolidate sideways here and then makes the next leg up. This thing's going to definitely move. We're going to definitely want to see it get out of here. It might take some time just because these low floaters do, unless they have some like immaculate news, which just sends it skyrocketing. But this thing is a long-term hold that's going to be pretty juicy down the road. Um, Definitely holding on to this one for a while as well. Daily on this, all right, very bullish as it makes this big turn up here. We'll definitely find some resistance before this meets. That's what I'm saying. It's probably going to come back in some once this gets a little closer around here. So it'll be higher, but you'll meet some resistance around in this level before it goes bullish and breaks. Great set it and forget it stock, in my opinion. AHFD, very overbought stock. Found resistance today. If we go back once again, um, it was trying to beat that. So right here, it's trying to get that 6 level. Got rejected and got rejected again because it finished at 5.7. Yeah, that might be an indicator that it's time for this thing to cool off. So um, keep an eye on that because when you get rejected 3 times, triple top, it'll come back down. So yeah, we're going to want to keep an eye on that. We might be looking at a strong chance of a pullback here. Let's bring up the MAC on this one. Obviously, the daily is going to be bullish as all get out, but you can see as it's starting to light color means that it's starting to dip a little bit. It's about even right there. Let's go on the hourly. Yep, so looks like we are sitting. Oh, yep, we had the bearish cross here. It's going sideways, so let's see if it consolidates here or if this continues to drop and gets pushed down, which would not surprise me because if we go back real fast, this RSI has been cooking. It's at 81. This is the one that was all the way up to 96. Ridiculousness. And it's been overbought since October 1st. With being such half a penny, I'm definitely looking for this to have a cool down or a long consolidation period. So as we look, we can see this downtrend, confirmation of a bullish pattern on the hourly. And then low volume. All right, this is continuing to go. There's more separation. So the darker that these bars are, the more separation between these two lines. You want the blue on top in this case right here. I'll change those next time for y'all. But if it could continue to grow this way, which I think it will, which makes sense, and it'll head towards the 50 MA, which would be a 4.6. So that might be a solid just kind of put your bid in there and see if it hits it and get a little lucky kind of deal. It could break below that too, so keep in mind. The 30-minute is already bearish, but it is working sideways. I'm sure this is pretty equal. Yep, it's pretty sideways as well. This is sideways, but still leaning down. It could make an uptrend. It's starting to, MACD could be starting to curl back up here. It's something to keep an eye on. All right. So this could go either way. Tomorrow will be more indication on this stock because we're only half the data here. We don't know if this is going to increase or decrease and get closer together. If it gets closer together, then we're seeing an increase over here. All right. So long-term bullish, just keep an eye on that because I'm thinking it might go down some more. It could definitely go up, but it looks like it could definitely come down some. All right. Also getting BYOC. This thing is definitely jumping. I almost went and grabbed some at 19 today because the 19 level was right here. I wanted to see it break the 20, and it looks like it did. All right. RSI is fine for what it's doing. Be careful with these ones. Like I said earlier, these things are very, very challenging to chart and to follow because of the massive amount of shares. Like the walls for this were 50, 70 million today. Okay, that was the wall. And also had support on the same side. Okay, I don't know about you, but that's a lot to be working with daily, knowing where it's going. So if you're doing this, you're just buying dips and just letting it do what it's going to do, thinking that it's going up. All right, so I'm not going to go too in depth onto these ones. Like I said, the low, really low double O's are just accumulation ones. hoping for the breakout because these are going in an uptrend. Okay, so they're following it upwards right here, so that's positive. If it breaks that and goes down, that's a different story. Okay, that's NBRI. Okay, that's what you don't want. You don't want it to break that trend. So it's coming up. All right, seeing here, that's good. All right, so that's what I resistance. We're gonna come up to this thing's got to break over the 2-1 barrier right here. It breaks over 2-1, it's gonna have a nice jump. Okay, so that's why it's gone up and then it's come down at the 2-1 level. So we want it to break above the 2-1 level and hold to make this thick green candle to make it really bullish. I mean, look at this volume just soared on that day. That's what really set it apart, these two right here as well. So yeah, just buy dips on those. That's all I do. All right. JPEX, another low floater, just consolidating sideways, waiting for pink current. So I mean, there's nothing really to say. It's just going sideways until pink right now. Everybody's waiting on that merger news, and they have to wait until pink. TGGI, same thing. Look at, I mean, I think I was talking about this the other day. Look at, you know, let's see where it closed. 02, or not closed, but hit the low. 40. I think I said it was either going to be 6 or 8 yesterday. Dude, it's like clockwork. I mean, it's just following the 8 right here. So tomorrow, put it at 110, 112. That'd be your bottom if you're trying to do it. To hit that, just keep accumulating. The 8's starting to go here. 21's running somewhat sideways. Just gotta wait. Ooh, excuse me. I've been up really early. Kid was sick today, so I had to stay home with him. Exhausting. All right, toner. Um, let's see. Daily is still holding on. It's going up in that pennant right there. We did have a looks like a curl down on the MACD right here, going downward. So we'll have to see how that works out. Let's just keep an eye on that. That's on the daily. Let's go hourly. Um, this thing's really, it's just following this trend line. They're holding it up tight in there. They're just waiting. They're being patient. That's all it is. I mean, once again, I mean, if you're in this, you're basically just holding anyways right now. You just don't want it below that trend line. And then our last one, LEAS, had a pullback the last 2 days, and then today it looks like we might be in the start of some consolidation. Let's keep an eye on this trend line, or excuse me, this moving average, the 8 on the daily. We don't want it to curl down. We want this to kind of go like that and go back up. And this following underneath, and these going as well. RSI is well cooled off now, which is great. 70 on the 29th of September, peaked at 90 on the 6th of October, and 14th it went to 70 and it broke below. So you guys are cooled off to 60. That's very good news for you all because you were running hot. This is getting a little tight on the MACD. Let's see if it bounces and continues to go up on the daily. Let's check out the hourly. All right. So on the hourly here, looks like we made a nice little cross on the MACD down here. We need more separation like this. So what we want to see is the separation and get bigger and bigger and bigger, and that will lead us to here. If the 8 MA crosses above the 21, that's a bullish pattern. We don't want it doing sideways. We want it to go nice and up. That will be more of a bullish indicator for us. Yeah, this is going more upwards. So when it's coming up here, you don't want it to go sideways. So yeah, so see, let me zoom in on that one real fast. All right, so you follow this and then it's going to go sideways and it hits some news and break. So once it goes up like that, that's the bullish trend right that you're looking for. You're not looking for sideways right here. You're looking for up, up, up and away. This is looking pretty good. Let's just keep an eye on the daily right there. I think it's going to be fine. I think you guys are going to get a lot of buys. Buying low here, as long as this MACD doesn't cross down and below, you guys will be fine. This will hold the trend very nicely. Just curious on the 30. It's just running sideways. So let's see where the volume leads us. Hourly volume, as you can see, these are the huge spikes that sent this thing up, and then the volume eventually dies down like in any stock. A lot of people are holding. You need new buyers to send this thing up as well. Yep, so here's your thing. So volume has been decreasing just like anything else on here. You know, PUGE decreasing. Um, let's see, PJET volume. I mean, these are low floaters going down. VNTH down. That's why I jumped. It had to go here. So that's it for us. Toner, obviously good. LEAS, keep a close eye on that. I'm leaning bullish on that one. We'll see how it goes. All right, that's it for me. Super long episode with the 8K by PUGE. I hope you all have a great evening, and I will catch you all tomorrow. Let's hit some green and let's get some volume going.